I'm Tertius Bays. I'm from Port Elizabeth, and I'm involved in training of athletes in the Eastern Cape, some of the top athletes, and we've really had good results through challenging times with training people in the Eastern Cape. And many people has come and asked me for advice on training for a marathon. Just start to train. I've made other videos. Should you want more information, you can contact me and I can link you up. If you just want to start training or work towards a 10-kilometer run or 5-kilometer run, I've made videos on the basics and the practical things that you need to know about running, wearing the right clothing and things like that. So what I want to do now is, as people ask me, to help them, to give them advice on how to train for a marathon and then an ultra marathon like the Two Oceans, and also ultra marathon like the Comrades. There are specific things that one need to focus on, and which I would like to share with you. Now, I believe in working on a basic program that will help everybody. If you top athlete, there are much more complicated stuff that one can do to get that little bit of edge, but with most of the runners, we need to have a nice relaxed run, and we can't go to and do all the intrigue training techniques that these guys need to do to perform at the best. So when it comes to a marathon, I'm going to give you some guidelines which you have to go within. And the first thing is, with a marathon you need to train anything from 6 to preferably about 8 to 9 hours a week of training. And that must include, for a marathon, a run of about between 25 and 30, preferably 30 kilometers, 2 weeks before you taper. You normally taper 3 weeks before the race. You work down. I'll talk a little bit about that just now. But for 2 weeks at least, maintain your maximum distance of 8 to 9 hours for a marathon, with 2 30-kilometer runs once a week. Now, important to know that after intensive training, which can be a long run or a power session, you need to take a day off where you just do relaxed training. So you need to work out your distance that you're going to do, plan it out over a week, one long run or 2 shorter long runs over a weekend to get your mileage up, and then shorter runs during the week. Now, what you can do for strength training and speed work, there are a couple of things that I would suggest. So if you've done a long run over the weekend, Monday take a relaxed run. It is good to do a time trial of 8 to 10 kilometers once a week. The time trial purpose is to see your improvement, but to give you that little bit of speed and to help your VO2 max enhancement, to train your lungs to take in more oxygen. So you can do a time trial once a week. That's a hard session. After a hard session, you take a slow run, say 8 to 10 kilometers, depending on what you've worked out with your program there. But work it out on hours. The reason I'm using hours is that a top athlete running 120 kilometers a week does it in about 8-9 hours. Our medium runners, like what I am, it takes me 12 hours to do that. So hours works much better than distance. And for each person it's the same. We end up running different times in the race, so the hour model works much better. So work it out over your hours to see what is the distance, and then divide your distance into your training program for the week. So you start training 3 months preparing for an event. For an event like the Two Oceans Marathon, it's good to start December, going up to March, April. So it's 4 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, depending on when the date is. And for Comrades, it's good to go almost to a 6-month build up towards the Comrades Marathon. Okay, so you need to work it out. So you build up slowly, start with your normal distance and build up slowly till you get to your desired amount of hours that you need to train. So for a marathon, 8 to 9 hours. For a ultra marathon like the Two Oceans Marathon, you would need to go to 10-12 hours a week. So let's say from 9 to 12 hours a week. You can go a little bit more than that. For me personally, it works out to about 120 kilometers a week at my maximum stage before I start to taper. That is good. But for you, it might be 100, or doesn't matter. It depends on the speed that you're running. So the hours is important to try and calculate it. For a run like the Comrades, you should try and go from 10 to 14 and 16 if you can manage it. Not everybody can do that, but as I say, it's a workup. You don't do it every week. You do it for at least 2 weeks before you start to taper for 3 weeks down. When coming back to the tapering, the first week of tapering, you can cut your maximum distance to 75% volume. So if you've done say around about 100 kilometers a week on average, the first week of tapering you go to 75 kilometers. Your second week of taper you go to 50 to 60, and your last week you train probably about 30-40, just that you at least have 3 days of no running before the race. So you will probably just train Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. So you cut it down, and then your body has worked up enough strength again, being repaired after the harsh training, and you will come to the point where you peak in your energy, peak in your performance, and will be at the best stage that you can be. So the same 3 weeks tapering. When training for a race like Comrades, and even 2 Oceans where you would do much more months training, it is sometimes good to go, say, for a month on a higher kilometer, and then take a week on a little bit lower, and then come back again to the higher kilometer and start build up, and then taper again for a week, and then go back up again, just for your body to, in between your training programs, just to give a little bit of rest. That's very important. The golden rule is always listen to your body. If you one day feel something in your body is telling you you need rest, rather take a rest. On marathons, ultra marathons, I prefer that people train 6 days a week, 5 days minimum, but 6 days a week, and take 1 day's rest. The rest day is very important for your body just to recover at the end of the day. So what you can also do, if you sometimes feel in the middle of the week, I'm really tired, didn't have much sleep and so on, rather take a break and take it up the next day and work again to another 3-4 days before you take a rest. So listen to your body, very important. Also, the importance of training for marathons, ultra marathons, is you need to have the right nutrition behind that. You can talk to me about that if you don't really use nutrition that I prescribe, but that can also help you a lot with your performance and your training and the ability to train hard and your body to recover quickly. So coming back to different types of training that you can do, speed work, power sessions. Well, hill sessions is very important. I prefer a longer hill of about 1 kilometer plus and less of them in a session, or what you can do is pick a hilly course. Here in Port Elizabeth we have a hilly course, we have at least 3-4 long hills, and what I do my long run on that, and when I do a slow long run, and when I get to the hills I push up till the hill. If I run in a bunch, I'll wait for the guys at the top of the hill again, and then we run again. So I kind of prefer to do my hill training in my long run, because that is what you're going to experience on the race day. You're not going to rest off your hills, you do it in your training run. So hill training is very important. You need to do that, and at least once a week do put a session. So I would say a time trial, a long run, shorter relaxed runs, a hill session, and you can put a power session in there. Now a power session can be many things. It can be a 3-minute fast medium pace. If I say medium, it's medium to your or 75% of your maximum pace, like track sessions. Some athletes do 1,000 meters. If you run slower, you'll probably do 600 meters. Try and start with about 5 or 6 of them. Take a 2-minute walk in between, rest, do another one, and try to keep your pace the same. It's a very hard session. It takes a lot. It's not a lot of kilometers, but it gives you a lot of strength, and but it takes a lot out of you. Another option is to do what we call intervals or fartlek, where you can say, for instance, pick a route, and then I run for 2 or 3 lamp poles. I run fast 3/4, not a sprint pace, 3/4 pace. Then I jog in between for 1 lamp pole, take another 3, jog in between, and you could do a 8 to 10 kilometer route like that after you've warmed up. That's very important, because when you run fast your muscles can get injured. So you can do that. You can also have a different interval session where you do 1 minute hard and a half a minute rest, 2 minutes hard, minute rest, 3 minutes hard, 1 minute rest, then you go back 2 minutes hard, 1 minute rest, 1 minute hard. That is also a way that you can do it as a power session. But these sessions are tough. It's tough on your muscles, but it gives you a lot of strength and a lot of power that you need in the race, and it helps you a lot. So these are some of the things that you can work in. So you know now what to do. You know how much hours you need to put in training. So instead of me working out a program and say do this amount of kilometers, I need to know who you are, I need to know how you're running, and it's quite technical. But the simple principles of using the hour system and using the different types of training that can help you, and not having it make it too complicated, can help you a lot. So it's not only about running, it's not only about slow running. You need to do those other things if you want to do the best and prepare the rest. But the big thing at the end, which gives you endurance and speed endurance, is distance. You have to train the right amount of hours for the distance that you're going to run. So have a look at this video over and over and see my suggestions. You're welcome to contact me, and I can give you personal advice. Give me feedback on how you train. You can contact me on the details that follows on the screen after this video. Thanks for watching, and you're welcome to share it with anybody that's interested. And if you need any advice on nutrition, the right foods to eat, best supplements that you can use that can help your body on different areas, you're welcome to contact me.